Hello everyone, this is your professor once again, Danny Araneta Cabulay for the course Tourism Entrepreneurship. We're now on week number 7 and we will talk about the operations plan. So for our discussion outline, we will talk about the Gantt chart and the flowchart and physical plant, facilities, technologies, and equipment. And we will also talk about the key operating systems, policies, and processes. And finally, we will talk about quality control. So when you talk about the Gantt chart, it's very important that in the operations plan, we have a schedule presented in a something like a graphical form. And this is basically a sequential depiction of the various processes needed to be completed prior to opening a business. So step by step, no? Some tasks or processes may be done simultaneously while some tasks would require a requisite task. For example, ng mga bagay na pwedeng pagsabayin. So habang ikaw ay nag-a-apply ng business permit, pwede ka rin nagko-construction or nagre-recruit ng mga empleyado. So you can do all of that simultaneously. However, you cannot have a grand opening or you cannot accept bookings if you are not yet registered as a business, because that would be illegal to accept bookings if you're not yet a registered business. So again, importante na asikasuhin mo muna yung business permit bago ka mag-accept ng bookings or you can accept contracts. Okay? You have to provide a realistic timeline allowing enough lead time when you do your Gantt chart. So a sample is given, okay, for the Gantt chart. Now, for the flowchart, this shows how vital tasks and processes in the company are managed from the inputs, processes, to their desired outputs. So remember, IPO, input, process, outputs. Check out the flowchart in the sample business plan that I gave you, okay? The Maharlika business plan. Now, let's talk about the fiscal plan. When you talk about the fiscal plan, ito yung physical na lokasyon ng iyong negosyo. Kaya kung ikaw ay isang tindahan, so it's the store. If you are an F&B outlet, so it's your coffee shop or the restaurant or the kitchen, that is your fiscal plant. Okay? So describe the site in terms of location, dimensions, capacity, and other pertinent characteristics. It's good to have a drawing or perspective of how it will look like. Ano bang itsura ng iyong restaurant or coffee shop? Ano bang itsura ng iyong travel agency o ng iyong camping site or glamping site? Enumerate and describe briefly these facilities. For example, in the business plan that I gave you, it's a hotel, so it's good to show pictures of the hotel. Okay, the lobby, the guest rooms, the restaurants, and other facilities. So the sample I gave you, so there would be the lobby, guest rooms, the different types of guest rooms, F&B outlets with a centralized kitchen and storage. Okay? There are basically 3 outlets, the restaurant, the coffee shop, and the bar and music lounge. And there would also be a souvenir shop and travel and transportation desk. And there would be function rooms, meeting facilities, fitness and wellness center, underground parking, or basement parking. But this is a complex business. Your businesses are micro enterprises and they're a lot simpler. So I would expect a very simple physical plant and facilities, okay, from your submissions. So it's going to be easy. Now, when we talk about technologies, you have to enumerate briefly all possible technologies in the company. For example, of technologies that you could use a biometric payroll system, an automated interface property management system, or maybe an accounting system, closed-circuit CCTV cameras, no, or your security system, and maybe FIFO inventory management system, or first in, first out. Okay? Now, when you talk about equipment, that means you simply just have to enumerate, no need to describe, enumerate the various equipment, machinery, tools, furnitures, and fixtures in your fiscal plan. In the hotel that I gave you, the sample business plan, well, there would be various classifications of equipment and furniture, like guest room equipment and furniture, restaurant equipment and furniture, kitchen equipment and furniture, and so on and so forth. So marami siyang categories because it's a very complex business. But your businesses are a lot simpler. Therefore, I would expect a shorter list. Okay? Now, when you talk about key operating systems, policies, and procedures as part of the operations plan, you simply enumerate all the systems, policies, and procedures that you would like to implement in your company. For example, in the business plan I gave you, so there would be policies and processes on F&B. There would be processes on policies and procedures on front office. There would be policies and procedures on housekeeping and laundry. There would be policies and procedures on sales and marketing, policies and procedures on spa operations. There would be policies and procedures on leased facilities, policies and procedures on kitchen and food preparation, policies and procedures on maintenance, policies and procedures on security, policies and procedures on finance and accounting, and finally, policies and procedures on human resources. So, because the business that I gave you, the sample business plan that I gave you, is for a hotel, and a hotel is a complex type of business. So many departments, so many policies and procedures. Kaya, ganun siya ka-extensive. But I do not expect that from your companies because you are micro-enterprises. So, your policies and procedures would be a lot simpler. Okay? Then let's talk about quality control. You simply have to enumerate and describe how quality control will be implemented on the company's products and services. For example, for quality control, you might want to have food checking, room inspection, punch listing, interim audit, government inspection. That's applicable for the hotel that I gave you as a sample business plan. Okay? So yours could be different. Okay? So here's pop question number 16. What will happen if an entrepreneur does not prepare or have an operations plan? Anong pwede mangyari? What's the worst thing that could happen? Deadline for submission will be on Tuesday. Okay? May 31. So that's going to be Tuesday. Oh, let's make it June 2, okay? Thursday. Then the same thing for your project task number 5, okay? So the deadline for submission will be June 2, okay? Thursday, okay? So what is project task number 5? I want you to write 2 paragraphs articulating the government procedures you need to undertake as a startup and the statutory requirements you need to fill up as an ongoing business. Again, deadline will be through the group chat on June 2, okay? And that is Thursday. Okay? And then finally, I want you to write your operations plan. This is project task number 6, only about 4 to 7 pages based on the format prescribed in this PowerPoint. Deadline for submission will be June 2 also, okay? And that is Thursday, okay? So, good luck to all of you. Bye!